A major national celebration has taken place in Moscow as Russia's President Vladimir Putin officially claims a fifth term in office. Western leaders have continued to denounce the Russian election result, but a handful of world leaders say they're willing to work with him in his presidency. Our Europe correspondent Isabella Higgins reports.
World leaders have continued to weigh in on the re-election of Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is now set to hold on to power until 2030. Here at Westminster, there has been widespread condemnation, with the UK's Foreign Secretary David Cameron saying that President Putin had removed his opponents, controlled the media, and then crowned himself as winner. He said this is not what democracy looks like. Across Europe, the 27 nation states of the EU jointly denounced this vote, saying that it happened within a system of repression. German leaders have described this as a pseudo-election, while Washington said that there was no way that this was a free or fair election. But other nations that are on friendlier terms with Moscow, countries like India, China, Iran, North Korea, they have not only backed this vote, but offered President Putin their warm congratulations and said that they're looking forward to working with him throughout the next term of his presidency. Now, Russia's State Election Commission says President Putin claimed about 87% of the national vote, but analysts say that there was no reasonable or credible opposition. So as President Putin claimed victory and came to his first day as president in this term, there was celebrations taking place in Moscow. This was largely to mark the 10th anniversary of Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea. Now, this event, it had a festival or concert-like feel. There were pop artists singing national ballads, people were dressed in the national colours, and there was also a brief speech from President Putin. In this speech, he described new Russia. This includes not just the Crimean Peninsula, but also areas of the Donbass in Ukraine, and also parts of the country that are currently under Russian occupation. Now, in his earlier victory speech, President Putin said that a main focus of his presidency would be the war in Ukraine. He even described creating a buffer zone in Ukraine that would protect Russia from Ukrainian attacks. Now, of course, that has put many in Ukraine on edge. So while the results of this election may not be surprising, there is some fear about what may be to come.